and thanks for staying with us. The Forward Operation Unit Zone A has planted a truck loaded with bulletproof jackets along the borderline. Also on customs reports, the Nigerian Customs Service impound goods worth millions of naira for smugglers operating along the nation's border area. Plus, more reports. I am Igiseme Etinye. Stay tuned. Since the appointment of the Comptroller General of Nigerian Customs Service, Nigerian Customs Service has continued to generate more revenue and fight against smuggling in the country. The management is also breaking new ground for the investment opportunity for Nigerian economy advancement in the country. The Siege of Nigerian Customs Service recently paid a working visit to the United States of America to discuss more on how Nigerian Customs Service will work with the customs operations in the United States of America.
The Nigerian Customs Service is collaborating with the United States Customs and Border Protection Agency, CBP, on using artificial intelligence AI to curb the flow of illicit drugs and arms into the country. Comptroller General of Customs CGC Adewale Adeniyi revealed this after talks in Washington, D.C. with officials from the CBP to address the issue. According to the CGC, the meeting was part of a determined effort to enhance operations in the face of increasing gang sophistication. He also disclosed that earlier in the week, he was in San Diego for a conference on the use of geospatial intelligence in customs operations, adding that integrating and adopting tools like AI and geospatial intelligence were central to discussions with the CBP. On the United States' promise to assist the Nigerian Customs Service and employ AI to simplify operations, CGC Adeniyi stated that they will share experiences to identify what works for Nigeria and what does not, saying they are conducting a needs assessment to determine priorities. Regarding President Bola Tinubu's pronouncement on the removal of tariffs to reduce food prices and address the food crisis, CGC Adeniyi noted that the president is empowered by the Nigerian Customs Service Act 2023 to determine and vary tariffs on imported goods to help reduce food inflation in Nigeria.
In developing,
the customs boss also emphasized that the service will not relent in its efforts to disrupt the smuggling cartels of illicit drugs, arms, and ammunition through Nigeria's ports, employing intelligence-driven solutions to combat the menace.
So the priorities as established by the President include the first ones under trade facilitation, transforming Nigeria into Africa's most efficient trading nation. 2, decongesting areas within 4 kilometers around the ports for cargo and railway use. 3, enforcing the Presidential Directive on 48-hour clearance of goods at seaports in line with Executive Order 001. Number 4, redefining performance measures of key government agencies to emphasize trade facilitation. 5, implementation of national single window. And 6, establishing dedicated seaports and airport export terminals with enhanced capacity and upgraded access roads. And secondly, under the revenue collection mandate of Nigeria Customs Service, the documents declared a state of emergency in revenue generation and also undertake to review and restructure existing incentives, waivers, and tariffs to plug economic leakages and boost key sectors of the economy. And in the third area, that is the mandates of protection, the documents also declared a state of emergency in national security. And the last one, promised to promote strategic communication and engagement with all stakeholders, which we also prioritize. So this set of priorities were further endorsed by the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy during the inaugural briefing with the Nigeria Customs Management Team and the Nigeria Customs Service Board. And following the finalization of the Presidential Priority Areas, PPA, in subsequent weeks, the service promptly realigned its operations to support at least 6 out of the 8 areas that fall within our traditional responsibilities. These areas include reforming the economy to foster sustained inclusive growth, strengthening national security to promote peace and prosperity, enforcing cross-border prohibition to achieve food security, prioritizing education, health, and social investment as pillars of national development, accelerating diversification through industrialization, digitalization, creative arts, manufacturing, and innovation, and finally, improving governance for effective service delivery. These priority areas have been incorporated with the identified priority areas of the PAD.
The Nigerian Customs Service has reassured stakeholders and indeed Nigerians that it is fully equipped to fulfill its role as a competent authority for issuing certificates of origin. The Comptroller General of Customs also said that the service will also streamline cargo clearance for export of goods within Africa. The Comptroller General of Customs was represented by Deputy Comptroller General of Customs in charge of Trade and Tariff in Abuja.
Nigeria officially endorsed its membership in the African Continental Free Trade Agreement to facilitate cross-border trade within Africa. As per the UNDP, AFCFTA stands as the most extensive free trade agreement globally, encompassing 54 African nations, boasting a combined GDP of USD 3.4 trillion and offering market access to approximately 1.3 billion individuals. To aid in the effective execution of the agreement in Nigeria, the federal government instituted the National Action Committee, NAC, on the AFCFTA, in line with the provisions in the agreement, tasked with supervising the implementation through an 8-pillar strategy focused on harnessing the country's competitive advantages. The committee includes representatives of the Nigeria Customs Service, serving as a designated competent authority responsible for issuing certificates of origin and streamlining cargo clearance for exports of goods within Africa, and in this context, guided markets. Notwithstanding the delay in Nigeria's involvement in Phase 1 of the GTI, trading commenced on the 1st of January 2021, with countries like Rwanda and Ghana taking the lead. Subsequently, from August to October 2023, the NAC organized a GDI tour to benchmark the best practices of Rwanda and Ghana in preparation for Nigerians' participation in Phase 2, trading under the initiative. We wish to reassure stakeholders that the Nigeria Customs Service is fully equipped to fulfill its role as a DCA through the training of officers in collaboration with WCO experts on AFCFTA rules of origin, the preparation of originating stamps for endorsing certificates of origin, the development of electronic certificates of origin in partnership with other relevant agencies, the deployment of officers in the ports to handle exports under the AFCFTA, and the designation of specialized seaports for expediting the export clearance processes. We firmly believe that Nigeria's participation in the AFCFTA GTI will open new opportunities for businesses and economic growth while reshaping intra-African relations. We commend the efforts of the federal government in ensuring the effective implementation of all necessary measures required for the GTI to take off, especially the gazetting of tariff concessions. In conclusion, I would like to extend the assurance of the highest regard of the Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service and reaffirm Nigeria Customs Service commitment and support to the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu by aligning the core priorities of the NCS with the promotion of exports in line with the policy advisory document of the federal government of Nigeria.
You are watching the program Customs Report. Papa Customs Command has impounded 12,000 machetes imported from China at Lagos Port. The Customs Area Controller said the command intercepted 4,129 packages of expired frozen products and also expired drugs from Turkey. 7 containers loaded with fake drugs and machetes impounded at Apapa Customs Command by customs operatives in Lagos. The Customs Area Controller said the policy thrust of the government is to stop importation of fake drugs and goods not approved by the National Security Advisor in Abuja.
Pharmaceuticals, this is Lisinopril tablet. It expired since 2023. This very one is from India. While, yes. No, this one, this is Femtech, is also from India. It's also expired. While the Cutlass, which we showcased earlier, is from China. Intercepted because there are regulatory controls that must be satisfied. Precisely, it requires an end user certificate from the Office of the National Security Advisor. One will start to wonder, 12,000 cutlasses. I mean, I wonder the kind of farming that that will be put into. So that's why things like this, importation like this, require end-user certificate issued from the Office of the National Security Advisor. There are security challenges here and there, and the government will want to be sure that the purposes for which these weapons, these cutlasses are being put into are the ones that satisfy the law.
So that the importation of seized items is against Schedule 3 of the reverse import list of 2023.
The Apapa Command of the Nigerian Customs Service has successfully intercepted 7 containers that fall short of the import prohibition guidelines from entering the country. On Thursday, 17th July 2024, the command seized 2x40 containers carrying 12,000 pieces of cutlass and machetes, 2x40 foot carrying 4,129 packages. That's another interception of 2x40 foot container of 4,129 packages of frozen poultry, 1x40 foot container carrying 368 jumbo sacks of used second-hand clothing, 1x40 foot container of expired pharmaceuticals. The duty paid value of these seized items stood at 292,244,857 naira. It's pertinent to note that this type of importation is against Schedule 3 of the revised import prohibition list of the Common External Tariff, CET, and violates Section 233 of the Nigerian Customs Service Act 2023. These seizures were made following a combination of intelligence and diligent enforcement in ensuring that no consignment exits Apapa Port or any of the terminals under the command without undergoing proper examination. As a working principle, I've reiterated that this command will continually sustain and improve on trade facilitation and maximum revenue collection without compromising the enforcement of our extant laws as they pertain to false declaration, concealment, undervaluation, under-declaration. We are also enforcing the requirements for sister regulatory agencies like NAFDAC in the case of food and drugs, and strict implementation of the end-user certificate rules for products that require it from relevant authorities like the Office of the National Security Advisor, ONSA.
The agency frowns at importation of expired products by any individual, because expired products, the reason why they have expiry dates is because after the best before date or expiry dates, those products are no longer fit for human consumption. And When they are consumed, they pose a great risk to the health of the consumer. And that's the reason why NAFDAC actually is out to ensure that such products do not find their way to the market.
He also seized 2 containers of frozen products, which was later handed over to NAFDAC officers at the port. The Nigerian Customs Service has smashed a syndicate that specializes in importing bulletproof jackets into the country through the unapproved route. The controller in charge of FOU Zone A also said that the government will continue to work against importation of uncustomed goods into the country. The controller said the seizure of the bulletproof jacket has no end-user certificate. It's required to import them into Nigeria. According to him, the consignment is worth over 1 billion naira as seized.
From bush path, they smuggled it, and they were intercepted at Jebode or a road. We don't know where they are going. Our investigation is still ongoing, but we now try to marry it with the seizure of arms we got at One. Are they just bringing this so that their equipment will be fully complete? I don't know whether you understand. This is what our investigators are trying to unravel. Because why should you carry this quantum? Why should you smuggle that quantum of rifles in? They are up to something. This seizure is unique in the sense that this is a breach of security.
The controller noted that 4 suspects were arrested by the customs for also violating import and export guidelines and wrong classification of consignment as approved by government.
Suspects were apprehended in connection with various offenses, including violating export and export guidelines, concealment, wrong classification, smuggling, and contravening policy directive. The cumulative duty paid value of the intercepted goods amount to 3,636,594,600 naira. I repeat, 3,636,594,600 naira. Furthermore, the unit, that is our unit, the unit recovered the sum of 62,017,875 naira. I repeat, 62,017,875 naira 82 kobo in revenue for the month of June alone. These are the money that will have lost to the Federation account, if not. And these were done in revenue for the month of June 2024 through the meticulous documentary checks and the issuance of demand notices, popularly known as DN, on consignments that were found to have paid lesser amounts than the appropriate duties. I implore all patriotic citizens to provide useful and timely information that will lead to the arrest of illegal importation of military wares, illicit drugs, and counterfeiting goods. Importers and license agents are also urged to make sincere declaration, adhere to existing import and export guidelines, and avoid the risk of losing their goods.
He condemned the criminal acts and damaging effects of expired drugs being imported into the country. The Assistant Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service in Channel Zone A has paid a working visit to Customs College in Ikeja. He was welcomed by guard of honor mounted by officers of the command.
General salute! Present! Up!
commandant of the college took the ACG to some areas in the college. We briefed the ACG on happenings around the college.
We are indeed grateful to have you and your entourage in this prestigious institution. With a sincere heart of gratitude, I most respectfully present this token on behalf of the staff and members of the college community to you in recognition of your leadership and strategic leadership style that has impacted positively on us, your subordinates. Please, sir, we would like you to find somewhere strategically placed, either in your office or in your sitting room, to always look at it and remember that on this particular day, you came into this college and blessed us as your sons and daughters. Once again, thank you.
The ACG has this to say at the college.
Nobody was expecting it. The recipients were not expecting it. I wasn't expecting anything. Now he's making presentations. This is one of the qualities of leadership, which I said earlier on. I think he's on ground here. I urge all of us, not only you, including myself, we learn. You learn a lot of things. This is a kind of motivation for everybody. Surprisingly, look at, even the recipients are not even aware. They are just performing what they are supposed to be doing.
The Customs Area Controller in charge of Murtala Mohammed Command has briefed the press on happenings around the command. So the command will continue to generate more revenue for the country and also seize any consignment not approved by government at the airport. It speaks more on a number of issues. The Murtala Mohammed Command of Nigerian Customs Service has continued to seize items of some importance operating at the airport. The customs boss said that the command seized 46 packages of dried sea cucumbers from them.
These items were seized mainly because of various forms of infractions, which range from false declaration, non-adherence to import and export guidelines, and failure to comply with other air standards regulations as enshrined in Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023. Exports. In the area of exports, trade within the period under review, the command recorded the exportation of goods worth 266,655,113 naira, 60 kobo, from the country from January to June 2024, with an FOB value of $204,597.07.
The command also seized 14 packages of Tramadol, including 5 packages of 250 mgs of Panadol at the airport.
As a result of resilience of officers in ensuring that agents were made to make proper declaration and to adhere strictly to import and export guidelines in tandem with extant laws. In the area of anti-smuggling, officers and men of the command are not resting on their oars in enforcing government fiscal policies and other trade regulations. Thus, the command made the following seizures. 1, 5 packages of 250 mgs of Tramadol, 12 packages of 225 mg of Tramadol, 1 package of 50 rounds 9mm live ammunition, 46 packages of dry sea cucumbers, 3 packages of dry donkey made janitors.
He urged stakeholders at the airport to always obey the rules of engagement while discharging their duties at the airport. Just before the end of this week's edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where goods worth billions of naira was intercepted by some customs command in the country. For me, Igiseme Etinye, thanks for watching.